ladies and gentlemen, the playoffs have arrived. Wildcard matches being played as early as tonight at the time of recording. When this video comes out, we will know, you'll know already, right, that Atlanta is the winner, winning 2-2 into PKs. Really quick, before we get this whole playoff ranking started, you guys can see on your screen already, I'm joined by Hitman Honda himself, Hector from Insert Name FC, and Davi from the Blue Burrows pod. Guys, we all kind of just watched the last parts of that game unfold. Did the better team win? How do you guys feel?
Hotlanta, yes, sir. Montreal got lucky to get into the playoffs.
Joseph Martinez, though.
Hey, Joseph Martinez carried. That's the only plus side to Montreal.
Facts. Big facts, bro. Big facts. Davi, Hector, how do you guys feel?
I think it's a solid. I mean, I think Atlanta going into the postseason definitely was in the team more in form. Hotlanta, as
anyone who's been down there knows, it's called. It's Hotlanta. Hotlanta. 100%.
Yeah, you know, and no one's gonna. AJ
would say the same thing.
You know what? AJ's probably from like the suburb of Atlanta. Like he's not in the grind that is Hotlanta.
I know we're not saying we have more credibility or anything. Hey, bro, that's crazy. AJ, hey, listen, bro, we're joking around.
You know, peace up, A-Town. Wait, let's not quote Usher. Right? Let's not quote Usher.
I can't. Davi, what do you think, bro? Better team won?
Yeah, I was at work, so I didn't watch the game, but yeah, I think the more informed team won, and like,
yeah,
when you're hot and informed coming into playoffs, it just like gives you the cutting edge because you've been playing playoff football for like the past couple weeks.
And Atlanta have been doing that. It's kind of crazy, man. It almost is like a shout out to everybody else in the league who didn't make playoffs, especially those who had, calibers similar to the roster of Atlanta United, who lost 3 DPs and still found a way to get into round 1. Congrats, man. Atlanta United fans, congrats. But look, that's only part of the conversation we're here to have today on this video. We are going to be predicting the 2024 playoffs. We're going to kind of make our own, not bracket, but tier list for today's video. We're going to go Eastern Conference first, then we're going into the West. We're going to predict where we think every single one of these playoff teams is going to bow out, and therefore ultimately crowning who we think is going to be the MLS Cup champion, at least in theory, today on this video. All right, guys, let's start with the East. We already know Atlanta United made it in. Okay, so we have the 8 teams absolutely confirmed here. Okay, every other team out here, a walking L. It is what it is. They're out. Atlanta United, we just saw them play. Got it done in PKs against Montreal. Is that going to be enough against Miami in a 3-game series?
No. Miami's just too strong.
What was their head-to-head this season? Was it 1-1?
It could be, but we're talking about a playoff atmosphere, and I think in a one-off game, maybe Atlanta can make a surprise and get it upset. But I think if everybody understands what a best-of series is going to dictate, is more often than not the better team is going to win out in a series. So I think. And I mean, till proven differently, Miami is just going to be them. And, it's 2016 Barcelona. How many times we're going to say that again? But I think if it was a one-off game, I think Atlanta could make a surprise. But especially with the momentum that they're getting off of in their recent form. But in a best of 3, it's just hard to see them get one in Miami, especially with that playoff. You got people spending 100 G's probably to get a playoff ticket to Miami. So I mean, yeah, the atmosphere is just going to be different. It's messy in the playoffs, which is something that MLS, not only just fans in general of MLS, but Messi fans and people that are just here to watch Messi.
Which, if we know anything by the comments of one of our recent videos, there's a lot of them out there. Messi simps or stands, if you will. Look, I agree with everything Hector said. The only thing I'll point out that maybe gives United fans some hope in this. 2 games this season against one another. Miami has yet to win one. It's been a win and a draw for Atlanta United. One of those, Pineda was still in charge. The other was not. He was actually fired not too long after that Inter Miami win. Yeah, I don't disagree. I think round 1's fair. I think anybody else who has them moving on, I want to hear the argument. I'm not saying automatically no. Anything can happen in playoffs. but and they are informed somewhat Atlanta United, so there's some of that there at play too. I just want to hear the debate. That's kind of why I wanted AJ here, but at the same time, this man's covering his team's match.
I
I
don't think
totally get
AJ
it.
would have give much of a
I don't
defense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just saying I kind of want to hear what the ultimate optimist from Atlanta United standpoint has to say.
I'm not gonna lie. I think game 2 can give him some scares because game 2's in Atlanta. That could definitely give him some trouble. But outside of that, it's a bit of a tall task for them to do it all.
If it goes to game 3, you back Atlanta to force PKs?
Probably not. I mean, they did win one just now, before recording. So, who knows? Low key, Miami could be had because Messi, he's not that good at penalties. That's one of his rare weaknesses in his game. And
The turf monster.
and the turf, yeah, the turf as well. That's why I say game 2 is that could definitely scare Miami. And if the turf monster wants to come out and claim somebody, like if it's somebody big for Miami, that could be a huge blow going into game 3 or going into the forward into the playoffs for Miami.
Yeah, I agree, bro. It's crazy that I'm thinking about it now. I think the only Barca boy who's good at penalty kicks is Suarez. Like, I don't think any of them are really like that's their strong suit.
No, because Boosie
Boosie's
doesn't really take pens.
No, but I've
Alba's
seen his
Alba's
pens. Like they're bad. And
Yeah,
Alba,
yeah.
like I haven't seen enough. I've seen like
Dude,
a
yeah,
one-off
I've
one
seen
here and there.
Boosie's pens in like the Leagues Cup last year, and they were fucking shite.
It's kind of crazy. He just like can't really shoot, but he could pass like nobody's business. So,
and I mean, you're mentioning those names, but I think you got to think about the supporting cast of Inter Miami as well.
The Campanas, the Taylors, like them guys.
Like Cramachi, who can bring a moment of brilliance as well.
Yeah, and they also have don't forget the number 1 U22 player in the league. What's that?
Is it Rojas?
No, it's Diego Gomez.
That guy. Yeah.
But he's not like
Gomez.
I get what you're saying. I thought you were like thinking of like the academy products, but that kid's they got him from like Argentina.
Yeah. Not academy products, but I do have kind of these young players that are able to not just impact something like a PK shootout, but just impact the game. And I think they'll need them in this playoff run, to be honest. Like, Miami should go through easily with this in this first round, but they need to use this 3-game series to build momentum. I think they have some of that in like Messi's game against the Revs. Everybody's like now shouting MVP based on that performance, the stamp on the season, the point record. But at the end of the day, it's a one-off game, and like the whole team needs to catch some fire.
Such a clash, lacking the balls.
It's everybody, bro. Everybody.
But I know we're talking about Messi, but Luis Suarez, 2 goals, 2 assists in that game.
Literally nobody's talking about it. It's almost as if Messi did everything in that game.
Dude, Sasha Kleshin has no balls because he stood like he said, like, I forgot who was it, Lucho or something like that, like at the start of the broadcast, like 360, and then he later apologized, like, oh yeah, Messi deserves it. Like, bro, you have no balls, man.
Business, bro.
One single performance shifting your entire mentality just says everything I need to know about your ball knowledge. That's it. It says everything I need to know. All right, Red Bulls.
Oh hell no! Might as well put that shit next to Montreal, bro. Put that shit next to Montreal, bro.
I mean, look, Red Bulls are not beating Columbus. Let's just get that out of the way. Like, if it were to happen, it would be one of the greatest upsets in playoff history.
Yeah,
if not the greatest, possibly.
But this is round 1. This is where Red Bulls always go out. Xiaoyan would agree with me on there.
Yeah, 100%. And Xiaoyan's like, he's already texted me basically when the bracket got made and be like, I already know I was proven right. They got Columbus. They're gonna go out the same round again. I'm like, it's missing so much context. This Red Bulls team is not the same as previous Red Bulls team, in my opinion. They've played a little bit better this season for sure, and a lot to build from.
The season better, but the closing of the season is starting to look like the regular Red Bull that they used to be, right? Like,
yeah, but I also because this team's not done. I feel like they have to still kind of put more pieces around some of their key players. They need more
something to build off of for sure. I agree with what you're saying, Jose. But I mean, right now you have to go against the most complete team in the MLS.
Yes,
and I'm sure the Messi stands are gonna be in rage when I say that, but it is the most complete team, not only in every position on the field, not only in the bench wise, but also in coaching wise. it is probably the most complete team in the MLS. This is probably the team that we're all putting our money on when it comes to
who could beat Miami.
Any tournament gets thrown away. I mean, they're not going to be in the FIFA Club World Cup. That was given to the Supporters Shield winner because apparently that matters now. So,
look, I'll say this: I think Messi fans would agree with you.
Apparently, they're hosting the opening match.
Yeah. But listen to me. I think Messi fans would probably agree with you because it supports their argument. It's like they have to fend off Messi being gone for half the season, other hurdles and obstacles. They had to deal with a team. I think someone in the comments of the last video said way better. And I feel like that's a terrible argument because so many of those players weren't that great when they got to Columbus. I think Christian Ramirez is like the perfect example. I don't think anybody wanted him. I can't think of a single team who was like knocking on Christian Ramirez's door. At least not a lot of them.
He was third fiddle at Aberdeen, bro.
Yes, like, I'm telling you, bro. Then he got to Columbus. Wilfred Nancy got his hands on him, and that's literally like what happened. He evolved as a player so much to the point that you actually could, the fans have convinced themselves he's one of the best players in MLS. Bro, I mean, that's a lot of the team.
Hand up. I did think the Dynamo did him a little dirty, but especially you give him the number 9 shirt, and then you ship him out to Aberdeen. So it's almost as bad as Albert Feliz giving him the 7, then shipping.
But bro,
him out
when he was looking to come back, I don't remember this list of teams that was ready to grab him.
No, there wasn't. I wish at the time when the Dynamo needed a striker, I still would have wanted Christian Ramirez. I mean, I think for what he does for Columbus, which is coming off the bench and being that, and I mean, I think that's one thing that he's really good at is just being clutch in the final moments, which is what I miss kind of a little bit from him. But I mean, yeah, I think it just goes back to what Wilfred Nancy is able to do is put these guys in the best position possible to succeed. And I think, most people would, I mean, I'm sure Christian Ramirez's value has increased because of what Wilfred Nancy has done.
1,000%. 1,000%, bro.
Malte Edmondson's another player. He was a cast-off at NYCFC. Like Nick Cushing just refused to play him. And then we got to the deadline and we traded him away to Columbus. Yeah. And then he gives that beautiful assist in the MLS Cup to that second goal. And now we're here. We're waving goodbye to Christian McFarland, who barely even played for us. He played a couple games, but look, not enough.
I don't want to get too far off topic on the Red Bulls here. The last thing I'll say about Columbus is that, like, I think at the end of the day, like, you can make that argument for anybody. It helps Messi fans' argument. At least they think it does, but they don't mean better, way better team. I don't think that's the right way to describe it. I think what Hector said is spot on. They're the most complete team, and the coach has made that entire roster of players better. I'm willing to bet Cucho Hernandez probably, despite coming from England over to MLS, I'm willing to bet his transfer value has gone up since leaving Watford. I bet you anything. Yeah. It's kind of crazy playing in an inferior league, technically.
Yeah, I think, who was it, Monterrey that wanted him? Like, they wanted some big club in Mexico. I think
America, and I think Tigres also wanted him.
And I think Columbus paid like $9-10 million for him. I guarantee you they'd sell him for probably twice that. If we're being honest, like, I just feel like they've done a good job with all of those players, and so that argument for Messi fans is flawed, but I understand why they use it. They should get past this team easily in Atlanta. Red Bulls, again, they won't beat Columbus. These are probably the 2 easiest picks we're probably going to have all day, guys, like, if we're being straight up. So let's move on to New York City FC. Davi, talk to me, bro.
Honestly, I think it's a toss-up.
Really?
I think so. I said I wouldn't mind playing Cincy in the playoffs, and here we go. We didn't do well. I mean,
you guys are kind of lucky you're getting this version of Cincy and not like the start of 2024 Cincy.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, you can only play who's in front of you. This is the playoffs now, so you don't get to pick your opponents.
I'll agree with that. You guys should go through. If you can't beat this version of Cincy in 3 games, and you can't get up for this one at home, especially, bruh.
Now that game's actually at Citi
you guys
Field,
might. If you can't beat this Cincy, you might be bigger frauds than the Red Bulls.
No, I don't. No, I wouldn't. Only Nick Cushing. Only Nick Cushing.
I'm saying the Red Bulls are getting Columbus, and you guys are getting this version of Cincy. I just think
We'll blame it all on Cushing. Don't worry about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, Davi wins either way. He either gets to advance in the playoffs or it's Cushing out again. I think either way, Davi's a winner.
It depends on how Cincy shows up in this game. Like, okay, yeah, form does take into effect when it comes into going to playoffs. However, if Cincy like wakes up out of nowhere, boom.
Experience, right? Playoff experience. I think that also does matter when you think about
we
like
also
what
have
teams
like
do in
the youngest team in the league, and this is like their first ever playoff experience. So it's a brand new team. This is no longer the same team that we had two years ago, trying to make it back to back.
Yeah.
So,
See, I would give it to NYCFC if it was a one-off game. If this was a one-off game, I would favor NYCFC because I think when you're young, you can just, especially when you have a young core players, you can just go for it and make those riskier decisions. And if it does pay off, great. If it doesn't, I mean, the argument's going to be like, look how young this team is. This team is only going to get better and better as years progress. Whereas in a series, you can't really go all out in every single match because you don't want to give away too much to FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Damn, Hector might have given Nick Cushing his excuse when you guys bow out. That's crazy.
Straight
up, bro.
He
just wrote the post game conference script. That's crazy.
No more excuses.
Speaking of fast and young, Cade Cowell just scored a goal for Chivas.
Coincidental.
Him and Daniel Jones are on my shit list this season. No more excuses for them two guys.
But like I said, I've never seen a playoff coach get fired immediately following the season. I think at the end of the day, and especially after a season where you didn't make playoffs, and you have that back pocket excuse you could just pull out at the end if you don't make it. Hey, we're young. Dude, who else is doing what we're doing with these players?
We've made so many fucking excuses in the book for Nick Cushing. I'm sick and tired of it at this point. Just like either win or go home. Like Britt, go home. Just fucking. We'll pay for your one-way ticket.
Only one team gets to win, Dobby. Only one team gets to hoist the trophy at the end.
I get it, but still, there's so many fucking excuses made for this guy. Like I'm like that's it. I like. One loss and I'm Cushing out at this point. Like if they get to move the goalpost a million fucking times on like why he can't be successful, then I'm allowed to move the goalpost by default if he fucking loses one game.
I respect that. That's a hell of a take.
Like at this point, like all the bullshit is off. Like it's anyone's game at this point because I'm fucking sick and tired of the bullshit excuses for this guy.
Yeah, I agree. I like that take, bro. I agree. Okay, well, look, I think you guys see. Hector threw an interesting point out there that in a 3-game series, experience does tend to find out its way of taking over. If this goes to a game 3, this will be in
Cincinnati.
Cincy.
See,
do you guys win that game?
If it goes to penalties, I think so. I think we can win in pens. We've shown in the Leagues Cup that we can win in pens, and which is one of the rare times I'll actually give Nick Cushing some credit. I
think even in regular time because of how Cincy is coming.
Yeah, is Matt Miazga still out? Is he not playing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. They've had so many injuries like in that back line, and that back line is weak. Like we can definitely exploit their back line. We just played them about a month ago, and even in Leagues Cup up until the 77th minute, like we were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So I just think if you eliminate those last 15 minutes, if you just fix it up, hold on to a lead, then if you win game 1, that's massive because I think game 2, you take it to Citi Field, those fans are going to be rocking. Those fans we're going to have their back. I mean, if you didn't see how we received Miami in the Bronx, what makes you think we're not going to have like our boys is back in a playoff game, especially like our first one in 2 years? We're back at Citi Field. The atmosphere last time when we played Miami before Messi, amazing performance.
Look, I'm going to say this: you guys haven't beaten Cincy in Cincy since like the year 2021.
Yeah.
So,
which I think this, whether it be regulation or penalties, I think we could change it, but we gotta make it there first. We gotta see how Nick Cushing and the boys respond. But I think we could do it just based off pure form. We're in better form than them, despite the decision day results. I think we could pull it off. If anything, this is probably this one and Charlotte are probably have an equal amount of chance of like pulling off an upset, in my opinion, in this round 1.
Man, this is really close. If we tie, what do we do? Who's the tiebreaker?
would have been AJ, but
that's true. Oh man. Okay.
I guess you leave both in there for fairness in that third tier.
and then
We could do
come back
that if we're split. Let's just see how this shakes out. I think it's really interesting because to me that is very much a toss up. Charlotte.
This one's also a toss up, kind of, because of how the forms are coming in. Like,
I honestly think it's Orlando, in my opinion, for a number of reasons.
Is championship DVD one of them?
Basically, but I also so form is part of it. The other part of it too is just experience. Orlando took if it wasn't for that crazy comeback by Columbus last season, they would have been possibly on their way to MLS Cup. Like we don't really know, right? They definitely would have gone maybe to the Eastern Conference Final. And that's something that like I said, to me, it's like they were arguably a top 3 Eastern Conference team last season. And they're doing it again now. They're finding the same form. And Charlotte, I mean, like, has anybody been impressed with Charlotte as of late?
As of late, no.
That's what I'm saying. I think based on
even
form, based on all those factors.
Even defensively, and I mean, it's not like drastically, but they did feel like it fell off a bit.
Yeah, I think round one's easy. I think it's also, no matter what, a positive season for Dean Smith. I think he elevated this team significantly in a number of areas, and they went a round further than they went last year, obviously, when they got clapped up 5-0 in the wild card game.
And not only that, they're going to host their first ever playoff game at the Bank.
Exactly. And so they might take one. I don't doubt that at all.
God knows how long that stadium has last held a playoff game. The Panthers fucking suck.
Yeah, multiple sports, it's rough out there. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can take the game at the Bank, but across 3 games, I don't think you beat a team that's as experienced or as in form right now as Orlando. I think it's tough. Which automatically puts these guys into the semifinals, I think. And I would actually put them ahead of either one of these 2 teams.
I would agree.
I'd put Charlotte ahead of the other 2 teams as well, because I feel like they got better chance than New York or Atlanta to make it.
To get out?
New Jersey, you mean?
Yeah, New
Jersey. Yeah, gotta make the distinction.
Did you guys see that graphic where the Red Bulls are officially the only team in the New York, New Jersey area without a championship?
Oh my God!
Yes, bro. This man shared it.
Oh my Lord!
You were way too proud of that. Like that
bro.
was
He's
like
did you guys see it? You're the one that shared it.
It should have been non-applicable though.
Should have been making sure, man. He's double confirming, that.
That was, it was brilliant. I hope they never win one in my lifetime.
Chef's kiss. This gets really easy, guys. Well, kind of. We have the debate now, right? These 2 teams go to Eastern Conference Finals. Who gets through?
I ain't gonna lie. It's just written in the stars for Messi to win it. I can't lie. I
really want Columbus to fucking make it.
I would love to see Columbus.
The team in general,
please. But I mean,
that's who I have.
Agenda wise, I will say it's gonna be really, really hard for MLS and FIFA to give a valid explanation as to how you let Inter Miami qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup for winning Supporter Shield, but not win MLS Cup. I think that if Inter Miami has a lot of pressure now, where they got to win this whole thing in order for anybody to now doubt the whole FIFA Club. Look, I'm gonna say this. I can give a rat's ass about the FIFA Club World Cup. I think FIFA is like, once again, read the room. FIFA players are complaining about playing too many matches, and so you're gonna take their summer vacation from them after playing a long, strenuous season. Some of them going deep as far as going to a Champions League final, for them to finally go into the summer. I mean, yes, I know international tournaments is a thing, and this is probably one of the few summers that we don't have an international tournament, or at least anything huge in any aspect. And you're just going to be like, F it, let's have this Club World Cup. And so, and I think, yeah.
Let's just give Miami a spot. Fuck it. Let's just do it.
Let's just throw more fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I totally see what you mean. I agree. I think it's going to be a tough hill to climb. I'm just hoping that if there's any layer of legitimacy to how the latter stages of playoffs will go, the better team will win. And in my opinion, the better overall team. We just talked about how fucking good they are. The most complete team in MLS, the team that deserves, in my opinion, to win it. And in my opinion, also has the MVP. It's Columbus Crew. I think Miami's good. They have Messi, sure. But if something happens on the path to the Eastern Conference Final, if I don't know, if he's not carrying hard enough and the rest of the team can't step up and Columbus just finds a way to slam it down their throats, I don't know, bro. It's a really interesting debate. But at the end of the day, I'm backing the reigning champs. I haven't seen a team that's going to just flat out beat them when it matters most.
Let's just hope it doesn't come down to like a refereeing decision, because we all know how MLS refs are in general, and especially when you got Inter Miami with Messi and his crew, right? I'm not saying Messi is going to be catered by the fucking referees, but we have seen it before. We've seen it with my team, unfortunately, LA Galaxy. You know, there's been some instances as well where it was catered to us, where it's been against us as well, and I just don't want them dictating anything in this.
I ain't gonna lie, for MLS,
I agree with that, by
it's
the way.
always against us.
Oh, stop.
They don't want to see MLS Cup on a baseball field. It's 2026. It's happening. Mark my words.
I mean, I agree with that sentiment, but there's no way they're sabotaging NYCFC. That'd be a weird agenda to have.
It's okay. We can all blame it on Cushing. That's okay.
It'd be a weird fucking agenda to have, I think. I mean, unless you're like just anti-city football group, in which case I get it.
I mean, there's a lot of people there that are anti.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are anti-city football group. So, but anyway, Miami. I know Davi wants them. I want Columbus. I see Columbus going through, but at the same time, I mean, there is
It's
very
not that
real
I want
world.
Miami. It's just I just can't see it go any other way.
Keep in mind, very few times in the history of this league have the Supporters Shield winners gone on to lift the MLS Cup.
You're gonna use the Shayan defense.
Hey, bro, it has the backing of being right most of the time.
He'll never shut up about it if it actually
comes true. Yeah,
he'll never shut up about it.
I just can't believe that Jose. We're literally having Jose out here Kobayashi marooning us right now.
Hey, all I'm saying is playoffs. You pull out all the stops. I have so many more in my back pocket, bro. But anyway, how are we feeling about this one? Knowing all of the facts I just kind of laid out for the crew.
The Messi Sands are not going to like me, but that's fine. Columbus Crew. I think they're going to the MLS Cup final.
Let's go, baby.
Put Columbus Crew up in there.
Let's go, my man. Hey, Davi, I know you don't want them to win. This is definitely not like this is more for the Messi stance who are going to be relentless.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I can't wait for Infantino just to. I hope he's at the Eastern Conference final, and just they keep zooming in on him as you like see the minutes like just twinkle down. And,
bro, you just see the panic start to set in. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
He's gonna look like Walter White by the end of the night.
Yeah, but then he'll find a way to make more dirty money, and they'll be okay.
I'm gonna keep my Columbus there. Obviously, I think they're gonna win, and I can't back the reasons why. But Miami does feel inevitable. I do see Davi like his point.
Yeah, I agree. Well, look, that's our Eastern Conference. We, as you see now on your screen, we have collectively Columbus Crew going through. We could be wrong. If you think we are, let us know in the comments down below. I'm sure there's going to be every bandwagon Miami fan down there. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens in the playoffs, because who knows, it could go Messi's way for a number of reasons. I still believe Columbus Crew are just.
Can I just say one thing though? I think we might have to make a decision on NYC or Cincinnati.
All right. I'm gonna make an executive decision.
Yeah.
Is Cushing out?
Cushing out?
It's Cushing out, bro. It's Cushing out. Look,
it's Cushing out.
Look, I think it's still an upgrade.
He's frauding his way to 2025. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's not going to be Cushing out because, again, he made playoffs a year after one of the most dismal seasons you've had in a long time. You got to round one, and you're going up against an Eastern Conference finalist from the year before with the reigning MVP. There's a lot, and having a very young team, there are a lot of reasons why you need to get used to this manager being here for the long term. But with that said,
God, please no, please. No.
Let's make that prediction. He bows out 2 games, they lose, right? He's out.
Yeah. If it's a 2-0 slamming, maybe then. Like if it's what Charlotte got,
it's got to be embarrassing.
Plus an extra game, maybe you have an argument.
It's got to be embarrassing. It's got to be like
Yes.
2016 Toronto FC where we lose like 7-0.
Cincy need to do to y'all what they did to Miami earlier in the season.
4-0.
Yeah, bro, they absolutely have their way with you. In which case, we probably won't hear from Davi in the group chat for a minute. But no matter what, man, these are our rankings now. Now officially,
he'll be celebrating cushing out. He'll be right there.
Oh, fuck yeah! Oh, absolutely. I'll finally be able to watch some real fucking football.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But guys, NYCFC fans, look, if you guys have a solid case for beating Cincy with all the experience they have, let me know in the comments down below. All right, get ready for Western Conference rankings coming your way very, very soon.